Hello students of class 5th. Today we are going to do chapter 14th ICSE Social Studies Natural Disasters. So let's begin. Topic to be covered: natural disaster, earthquakes, cyclone, floods, drought, volcanic eruptions and landslides. Natural disasters: an adverse event of nature that causes immense damage to life, people and property is called a natural disaster. Earthquakes, cyclones, floods, droughts, volcanic eruptions, landslides are examples of natural disasters. Earthquakes. The earthquakes occur when some movements take place deep under the surface of the earth. It shakes the earth. Sometimes it is not very strong. It passes unnoticed. At times it is so strong that we can feel the earth shaking. Powerful earthquakes may lead to the following: the surface of the earth splits, roads cave in, railway tracks are deformed, trees fall, buildings and bridges collapse. Precaution during earthquakes. During an earthquake, do not panic. If in a building, move out of it. Do not use a lift, instead use the stairs. If unable to move out, take shelter under a table. It will protect you from objects falling around. Move away from glass windows or mirrors. To drop, cover head and hold on the objects under which shelter is taken is the best protection during an earthquake. Do not enter the building immediately after the earthquake has stopped. There are chances of damaged portions falling off. Cyclones. A very strong wind accompanied by heavy lashing of rain, lightning and thunder is called a cyclone. The cyclonic wind mostly blows above the speed of 150 km per hour. It moves in circles in areas near the sea and causes very high waves called waves. Tidal waves flood the coastal areas. The wind usually blows from some hours, but sometimes they may continue for 2 or 3 days too. Cyclones cause miseries and huge loss. Precaution during cyclone. The weather or meteorological department has instruments to study condition of air on sea and predict cyclones. They can also roughly find out the speed of wind during the cyclone. Along with the food and water supply, they can also prepare an emergency kit of medicines to guard against disease that might spread in the wake of the cyclone. Planting more trees near coastal areas can break the speed of winds and lower the incidence of loss. Floods. Due to excess rains, the water level of the rain rises above the banks and overflows on the surrounding land. This is called flood. Floods are not caused by rain alone. When the snow on the mountains melt in excess, the water overflows into rivers and then onto land. It increases the volume of water in the river. Sometimes the increased water overflows river banks and causes flood on plains. In India, floods are common during the monsoon months due to heavy rains. Melting snow on mountains. Floods destroy crop houses, roads, railways, tracks, buildings and everything that comes in the course of the forceful flowing water. It washes away cattle, temporary shelters and belongings of people. People do not get a chance to save even themselves. Floods result in large-scale damage, but they also have an advantage. Flood water carries away fertile soil from hills. They deposit sediments of this soil on the land. It makes the soil from fertile. Precaution during floods. Floods cannot be stopped, but the loss caused due to them can be minimized. People are warned about the ongoing floods through newspaper, radio and television. They are also advised to move out to a safer place with sufficient food stock, water, necessary medicines. Trees break the flow of water currents. Planting more trees can control and slow down the speed of water. Raising the embankments can also prevent water from onflowing on the nearby land and causing damage to life and property. Drought. The very scanty or lack of rainfall causes drought. Rivers do not get sufficient volume of rain water and the level of underground water also falls. The soils constantly loses moisture through evaporation. Ponds and lakes also dry up. All these factors cause an acute shortage of water in the region. This condition is called a drought. Crops cannot grow in the absence of water. It is further creates a shortage of food grains. There is a shortage of food grains, it is called famine. Precautions to be taken during drought. Farmers can adopt methods like canal or tank irrigation to irrigate the field. Rainwater harvesting can also provide enough water to maintain the moisture of soil and to grow crops. Planting more and more trees brings heavy rainfall. Hence, planting trees and preventing deforestation can help reduce the risk of drought. Water stored in the reservoirs of dams can be used for irrigation. Volcanic eruption. The cracks in the earth crust through which magma flows out are called volcanoes. The magma comes from the mantle of the earth and reaches the crust through the cracks. Volcanoes are found in the form of conical mountains. Magma is pushed out due to the huge pressure built up under the ground. There are three types of volcanoes. Active volcanoes. These volcanoes may erupt any time or have erupted in the recent past. Dormant volcanoes. These volcanoes have not erupted for many years but can erupt in future. Narcodan, the Andaman Island, May and Mount Kilimanjaro are dormant volcanoes. Extinct volcanoes. These volcanoes are not expected to erupt in future. Emperor Seamount, Pacific Ocean and Zuidwal volcano, Netherlands are extinct volcanoes. Landslides. When rocks, debris and soil move down a slope, it is called a landslide. This happens during or after heavy rainfall. It may also occur after an earthquake. During a landslide, a mass of earth or rock collapses from a mountain or a cliff. It is also called a landslip. Landslides. Given below are the natural causes of landslides. Groundwater pressure destabilizes the place, loss of vegetation and deforestation, erosion of slopes by river, ocean waves, earthquake shakes the land, over-construction on the land weakens the land. Precaution during the landslides. Do not listen to weather forecast. Do listen the weather forecast on radio, TV, etc. about heavy rains. Abnormal sounds of soil and rock movement or breaking of trees should be heard attentively and taken seriously. Evacuation must be quick and shelter must be taken under trees or solid objects if rocks are falling. Thank you.